60 today.
I believe, yeah. 17th of October here. It feels more like the first week of November. We got temperatures in the mid to upper 40s, a really strong northwest wind. So it's obviously a big front. We've kind of pick and chose our spots, just like we usually do this time of the year. Don't get too aggressive. We're hunting the very edge of our property over some fall kale and turnips. Hasn't rained in a month, and this plot is still really green and drawing quite a few deer. So there's 2 bucks on this front, or at least there's 2 bucks that are really making themselves visible right now. The Elite 8 buck, he's a probably a 5-year-old. I don't know. We kind of can't tell. He looked 4 last year. He's definitely 4, maybe 5 this year. He's a really nice deer, pushing into the 150s. Had an encounter with him last week. Somehow busted us directly upwind. He's hanging around the top of my property. That's a deer that I kind of played cat and mouse with last year. I'd love to kill that deer. And then there's an 8.5-year-old 9-pointer. Obviously super mature, super big body. Probably would only go 140, but he's up in the same field as well. Not quite as often. He's not daylighting quite as much. And then I passed a 10-pointer last week that I thought was a young deer. Just kind of mischaracterized how nice that deer probably was, but it was the first day, so I may take a crack at him if we get another shot. And then tonight in this particular field, we're just hoping that one of those big boys comes down the hill, or we get a stranger buck off the neighbors comes in. So those are kind of the 3 that left. So we got down, we saw 5 or 6 today. Movement was a little bit slower than it has been up in that food plot. We really think that this strong wind is kind of throwing them off. It's been strong for about 2 days now, and the camera showed the same thing. Like the buck activity slowed down. There just wasn't as many deer on it as there has been. It was really late at night. And even driving around last night, we saw a lot of deer just laying down in the field. So you can tell like they might be just a little bit more stagnant than they have been. We bounced around a little bit. We're checking another camera down here. This particular camera is the camera that the Elite 8 buck was all over last year. Now that was when it was kale. This is clover this year, but I did have an encounter with him on the ridge that's right above this food plot. So this is an important camera to just keep an eye on. I haven't checked it in 3 weeks. So this is an opportunity where if he is on this camera, it's a pretty isolated food plot. We could have a hang-in hunt tonight. It'd be pretty easy to slip in here with all this wind. So that's a good possibility. that's kind of where we're at. The wind should stay this way. Yeah, we just got back to the barn. We sat that same pasture field that we were in this morning, and the does seem to be kind of on their normal pattern. The spikes, you know, a couple forkhorns and stuff, but I don't know. A switch just got flipped. I don't know if it was that first cold north wind or what, but just the bucks are not kind of behaving the way they had been, even just leading up to the days that we were hunting. It's just totally switched. So I'm assuming probably what's happening now is these bucks are breaking off, going to get super territorial and start kind of trying to get on their rut pattern, which is a good thing. But ultimately, we kind of just got caught in the middle, and you know, in the switching phases or whatever you want to call it. But I don't think there's a lull or anything like that. I just think they're just switching their pattern up and getting ready for the rut. So moving forward, I got to get married in a couple weeks, which is awesome. Not great for hunting, but I'll probably try to just focus on some afternoons in the next 10 days or so before I head out to Colorado. I have a couple of spots that are on travel corridors back in the timber. One thing about that property up there, there's a ton of acorns right now, so the bucks don't have to do a whole lot. They don't have to move around a whole lot, but the big mature ones will probably start hitting some scrapes here and really start getting their act together. So probably switching to the timber is the move going forward here.